please click on Russ's name, go to his website. It is full of very valuable information. Russ, I have been the target of one of these operatives. There have been many attempts to take me down over the years, and this particular instance, the individual, of course, swears that there is no possibility of control. None. So the more sure the person is, the more sure it becomes to me that there is reason to suspect, because these people do not mess around. I have never seen more radical changes in personalities in a matter of moments. I have never seen anything like the kinds of excesses and bizarre behaviors that make no sense logically, intellectually, or in any other fashion. And it doesn't matter how much you try to be the good guy or the good girl and help the male or female involved. Kindness and patience and love and devotion and dedication and steadfast support don't break it down easily at all.
Agreed. I mean, because the program, and especially again because the way they were made. And here's just a simple way for a lot of folks to understand. They've seen on television a hypnotist hypnotize a group of people. He gets all these people to do things, crazy things, funny things, things they would never do themselves. And then he takes them out of that trance state, telling them that they won't remember and they'll feel refreshed. And guess what? They have consciously at that moment, they have no idea what occurred. Even if the operator, the hypnotist tells them, they doubt. Unless somebody shows them a video, then they're stunned. So when we deal with programming and creating permanent alter personalities, then you have something far deeper, far more controllable. And once again, Jeff, they can take personalities from the childhood level and throughout the first 13 years, bring that personality up. One of them described it to me like this. They said, it's like monkeys in a cage. They have us down in here. We come to a meeting or we go to this place. They pull up one individual. They have them have more programming or training or whatever else they might do, put them back down by code, and then get another one out and do the same. And so it's really controlled by outside individuals, and it's really, it's human trafficking, to the max.
That's exactly right. It is total human trafficking. They own these people. These people are in pieces. And I have a story to tell which I have not told. Hopefully I'll never have to tell it. It is so horrific and ugly that it's heartbreaking. And I know what you're talking about. I can tell that this is something that is common all around the country. Someone in my position that a lot of people in the power structure don't like. They have tried many things over the years to smear and libel and defame. Their latest has been to send something which I strongly believe is one of these guided missiles, as it were, who don't know what they're doing. They do not understand it. But there are giveaways. There are fractured personality, mood changes, the likes which you have never seen. There are behaviors that make no sense, as I said, logically or in a linear sense at all. It is something that is, it's almost indescribable. It truly is. And that's part of the way they get away with it.
It really is. And here's an example again. I was recruited by a law enforcement agent to come into their department, and they wanted me to be their police chaplain. But the agenda was to get me to teach in the Academy on Occult and Satanic Crimes, to be involved in that. But here's what occurs. The corporal that brought me in is a high complex, multiple, has many personalities with many abilities inside.
And these can be very intelligent people, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. Now, the upfront person might look like they don't know a lot, but when you get to different ones inside, it is really, Jeff, like having real different people, but they're all rooted and connected into one body. And what happens is I have one that speaks Russian, one that speaks German, one that speaks Punjabi, one that speaks and draws ancient occult, languages like Ogham, Belshari, things like that, to where they can use for summoning. All these things we begin to engage with. So here's what occurs. We're wanting to keep this person safe and not be triggered to take out. So I call on a Friday to say, I'll just say the name Susie. It's not a real name, this corporal. And I said, Susie, how's things going? Any problem? Anything going on tonight? Nope, not a thing going on. Nothing happening. And we already knew there was. We already had a team out. So I simply just called on a sub-personality that I talked to, a male personality. I said, Andrew, are you there? Andrew begins to tell me, Russ, they're coming at 11 o'clock. This is what they're going to do. She's already, they've already prepared her, things like that. And here's how it worked. Susie was in the middle of a sentence, speaking, responding to me when I said Andrew. Instant switch. I'm talking now to Andrew. When I'm done talking to Andrew, Susie comes back, finishing the sentence she started 20 minutes prior.
Missing time.
Not knowing.
Never noticed. Never noticed.
Never. I told her, I said, look at the clock. Here's what I've told others, even in the military, when they say they get strange calls, they don't know who it is. It happens 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. If I get a call and I'm saying hello, within seconds I'm just going to hang up. Well, I said, do this. We had to learn. I said, the moment the phone rings, mark down what time it is. It'll take you 3 seconds, just 10:30. Mark it down. You answer the phone, and if you're putting it down, saying, "Well, nobody's there," look up if 5 minutes passed. It didn't take you 5 minutes to say, "Oh, nobody's there," and it'll take somebody 3 or 6 or 7 seconds. If it's 5 minutes go by, something else.
Or even 3 minutes.
Or 3 minutes, sure.
Point well taken. We're going to, Brett, we're going to go through this break. Here's another one. A child, a male, a female, it doesn't matter, is multi-generationally in the cult. That means the grandmother was in it, the mother was in it, the child is in it. The child, again, is taken by the parent or parents and dropped off at a location, or brought to a ceremony, some kind of an evil, dark, satanic ceremony, where the raping and the sexual violations and human sacrifices perhaps are conducted amongst and around them. Now, if a mother, after the child is 7 or 8, refuses to make eye contact with that child out of obvious discomfort, shame perhaps, revulsion at what that parent, mother, father has done to that child, that's a pretty strong indicator that there's something seriously wrong there, isn't it?
Absolutely. And in the multi-generational side of it, here's what we also find again and again. When we have a second-generation individual, and they're telling us all the stuff that's gone on, here's how it works. It's not the upfront mom. It's the sub-personalities that have also now been trained, because they're older, they've been trained to be a splitter, a programmer, a conjurer, all these things. So here's how it does work. And children that we have interacted with for counseling will tell us, Mommy's not mommy. I talk to Tracy. I play with Jody. I get scared when Jonas comes forward. Even children can learn the differences and see. Even in the eyes, the color can change. When there's a switch, the face can even have an alteration in the facial structure.
Oh, the muscles change. Absolutely. Yes. I had one person tell me that his or her, I won't go into it, mother absolutely refused to look him or her in the eye. Would not do it. And this is after the mother had dropped that child off for a long period of time at the age of 5 or 6 for weekly sessions. The mother would not look that child in the eye ever again.
Exactly. There's something about the eyes, Jeff, because even the scripture talks about, like the idea of the eyes being the window to the soul, the window to the inner. So when we do this observation in every case, they can be co-conscious. In other words, you're talking to the upfront person, they're amnesic, they don't know, but as you're looking at them and you're looking into their eyes, you're studying them. We've called this in our teams here just simply multiple eyes. It's as if 2, 3, 4 people are looking. There's something different between that and just we've dealt with a lot of demonization too, but that is a little bit different to where co-conscious subparts are able to look through and assess who's out there without the main person knowing and decide what they're going to do. And so in some counseling cases, I'll be talking for, an hour and a half with somebody, and I'll finally look at them and I'll say, I know that, depending on how I sense things, 3 others have been listening or 4 others have been listening. We're here to talk to you also. Usually when I say that, instantly their eyes will go back to that more of a clean, pure sense, because the others will then back away, or they'll even say out loud, oh, they just went down. So there is a physiological side when others are up, partially up, and or when they take over. Even the voice, or a male personality in a female body. I had one from Fort Bragg that sat in front of me for years. We were interacting, and every time the male personality, we're at a Borders bookstore, and the male personality came up and this was the one giving us a lot of information, taking us places. Soon as he would come up, instantly he'd look to his right and left, take off the earrings, wipe his mouth, the woman's mouth, push the purse aside. He knew the difference. And this is the strange part. Male, see, they can form the personality just like in hypnosis, only this is the idea of permanent, and make it whatever the programmer in the system of creating them wants it to be.